thought you came here to bowl.
Yes, I did.
Then why are you leaving? You gave up on trying to convince Mrs. Carpenter to let you play?
No, Patty, neither Zach nor I have given up on anything. We're just going to stop by Erzulie Fréda.
Erzulie Fréda? What do you want with that place?
What do you know about it, Patty?
It's a dumb store that sells stupid voodoo charms and even stupider souvenirs. No one who actually lives here would ever be caught dead there. Daddy even told me to steer clear of it.
And why is that?
'Cause they sell guns?
You mean Erzulie Fréda is a gun shop?
It's kinda like a gun shop and a voodoo shop had a baby.
A voodoo shop? Thank you, Patty. You just helped me make up my mind. We're going to use the power of voodoo to help us steal the right to use that lane. Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand. And Lady Luck's given us far more favor than... A voodoo shop. It's a voodoo shop.
Just looks like a dumb souvenir shop to me.
Of course it does, Patty. You're much too young to understand the true value of such a place. Okay, Patty. I'm going to try asking you that question again. What do you do when you're at home?
I watch TV and look up stuff on the internet, I guess. Ain't much else to do when you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Really? For some reason, I envisioned you working hard to take care of all the chores around the house.
Well, of course I do stuff like that too. But doesn't everyone? Why bother talking about it?
Other kids your age don't help out their parents. They're too busy talking with their friends on the phone or through emails.
That's stupid. I don't get why everyone's so obsessed with taking pictures of themselves. Then they send them to their friends just to get approval. Talk about cringeworthy.
How do you prefer to boost your self-esteem then?
I don't need to. I have my family. And besides, my daddy's the town sheriff. All I need to be happy is a normal life.
That's awfully mature of you.
Everyone else is just childish. I'm totally normal.
Okay then. So what do you do after you finish all your chores? You don't turn on CNN and pour yourself some bourbon, do you?
CNN? That's kid stuff. What I watch is way more adult than that.
Like what? Live sports?
You just don't get it, Agent York. Full House, Friends, Beverly Hills 90210, sitcoms. Sitcoms are an all-in-one package. Dreams, love, life lessons, science fiction. They've got everything you'd ever want. And some cable channels just show reruns all day long. It's the best. Oh, but my favorite TV show is this old one called MacGyver. The main character is cute and smart. I don't know his real name, but I like him. Oh, and I also like Gil Grissom from CSI. I just think it's adorable how he keeps maggots inside his fridge.
Thank you, Patty. That was very informative. Well, what do you think, Zach? Her tastes are... they're a bit hard to describe. Wait, don't even say it. I know exactly what you're thinking, and I'm in full agreement.
this is all kid stuff. It's just a bunch of charms. I'm allowed to watch TV and go on the internet, but I ain't allowed in here? My daddy makes no sense sometimes. You agree, right, Agent York? This is all just kid stuff.
Look at this, Zach. All the mysticism of the Deep South gathered up into one quaint little shop. This is 100 times more exciting than the FBI evidence vault. It's a vast treasure chest. So much to study, so much to learn.
Thou art a seeker, and I see the object of thy desire. Doth this be what thou seekest? I could sell it to thee now. And only now. Surely fortune shall not bless thee with another chance. Purchase this, and know that thy wishes shall be granted.
That's crazy. Even I can tell you're getting cheated, Agent York.
I disagree, Patty. This person can be trusted. I've been studying people for quite a while, so I can tell. That figurine is connected to our future.
My price is true. What say thee?
I'll buy it.
Thou art a man of refined taste. I am loath to part with it, but 'twould be a fool's errand to keep it from such a keen-eyed soul.
What's wrong with you? No normal person would ever buy a piece of junk like that, not even at a garage sale.
Marvelous, isn't it, Zach? What a treasure. I can't wait to use it.
Use it? Where? How?
Isn't it obvious, Patty? I'm going to put it in front of Mrs. Carpenter's house.
In front of her house?
Yes, I'm sure this figurine will stop her right in her tracks. And that'll give us a chance to finally topple the 10 maidens.
Are you serious?
Of course I am, and so is Zach. Aren't you?
I'm seriously wondering if I should quit helping you out with this.
Oh. Verily, much shall serve thee well here. I can see it. Thou hath discovered the very purpose of my emporium, that is.
Whoa!
That was close.
Well, look at you, all standing there like you're expecting me to apologize. Huh, it's your fault for not paying attention. What?
Got a moment?
Can't say I do. I'm in a hurry here.
I won't take up too much of your time. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
I said I'm in a hurry, Peckerwood. Now get out of my way.
Patty, who was that?
Kalina Clarkson. PJ Clarkson's second daughter, and Lisa's mother.
Zach, we've found ourselves a Clarkson.
Oh no, she's not here. My dolly. Oh, she's not here. My dolly isn't here.
One of the key persons in this case just came out of the woodwork to meet us. Now things are really getting interesting. Isn't that right, Zach? So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world, and there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place, for better or worse. It's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you find that Southern people are remarkably friendly, even to total strangers? Both here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in New York or D.C. They never stop to chit-chat, especially when ordering food. They only say what's necessary. So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies? We don't even have a movie theater around here, so I can only watch what I manage to catch on TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie channel we get at home is the sci-fi one, so I just watch.
Patty, what's that?
That tree? Or the water tower?
That thing I'm pointing at. That.
Like I said, what?
That thing. Right there, Patty.
Just tell me what it is. How am I supposed to know which that you're referring to? Oh, you're goofing on me, ain't you?
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Hoongan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes.
What'll it be, honey? What'll it be, honey?
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that. It's a beautiful day, Patty.
Really? Seems kinda normal to me.
Now that you mention it, yes, it is a normal day. I just felt like saying that.
What? You know, sometimes you really get on my nerves.
Mr. York, that was mighty quick. The special agent does it again. You sure don't waste any time. I bet my CLG's got a lot to learn from you. By the way, Mr. York, looks to me like you aren't packing anything.
I was on vacation in New Orleans before I happened to stop by here.
Well, shoot, that won't do. Here, I got something I think you'll like. I call him Mr. Alligator. Badass, ain't he? It's a tranquilizer gun for the gators. And here's a radio. With this, you won't have to worry about any expensive roaming fees. Might take you a while to get used to them, but you'll get it. Try letting them rip a few times. Ain't no need to hold back out here.
Now this is an intriguing weapon. For a tranquilizer gun, it really packs a punch. But I'm afraid I'll decline. After all, this town is peaceful, isn't it?
Well, sure is peaceful. At least the humans are. But the animals are a different story. Remember what I named it? There are some real mean-ass gators out there in the swamps, and every now and then, they wander into town. One of them even went and ate a kid once. It happened a long time ago, but still. One chomp's all it takes. They swallow down every last bit of you. Poor kid's parents didn't even know what to put in his coffin. The worst part is, that taught the gators just how tasty we humans are. So now, those suckers just attack on sight. Man-eating crocodiles will feast tonight. In Blood Swamp!
You know he's fibbing, right? Gators don't attack folks. I never heard about no kid getting swallowed by a gator.
Actually, Patricia, you're wrong.
I'm what?
Alligators do attack people, and it could happen in any town.
Huh?
Alligator, 1980. Directed by Louis Teague. It takes place in the Midwest, I believe. A teenage girl's pet alligator gets flushed down the toilet. Then, in the sewer, it feeds on the corpses of dogs that were used as test subjects for an experimental growth formula. After growing over 30 feet, it finally starts to go after humans. It's an extremely edifying movie. Back when I first saw it, I had a pet hamster.
Hey, Agent York. What's your first order of business? You're in charge now, remember?
Well said, Patricia. I nearly lost sight of my true goal. Melvin, I couldn't help but notice the name on the side of that truck. This facility is connected to the victim, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. I reckon I better start from there. I'm gonna tell it to you straight right from the beginning, Mr. York. As you guessed, this warehouse is run by the Clarksons. The victim's father, Danny Clarkson, is the one who manages the whole place. Okay, but why did he choose to store her body in his own warehouse, right? Well, that's because there ain't no other place to store it. Our town has a clinic inside a church, but no morgue. Whenever someone kicks the bucket, we just bury him in the graveyard right outside of town. But not this time. We got a murder on our hands this time. We need to give Lisa's body an autopsy and keep it stored, right? So we had no choice but to rent out a corner of this warehouse.
I see. So that's what led to the ingenious choice to store the victim's body in a facility that her family owns.
Anywho, this is where the real story begins. Truth is, a few days before you got here, Lisa's body went missing.
Missing?
Yeah, all of a sudden, poof.
Did you leave the warehouse unlocked?
I most certainly did not. I locked the whole place up and made sure no one could get inside. No one stole the original key, and I couldn't find any fingerprints at the scene.
So, in other words, this is a locked room mystery.
The body of a beautiful young girl walks at mid... Hey! all right, CLG. Reckon I should have told you about this earlier when you first said you wanted to come here. It just didn't seem like the time or place as I remember. Anywho, how about we call it a day and head back to my office? You can go through all the files there.
No, thank you. This is what I came to investigate.
But Lisa's body isn't here anymore. You sure?
That doesn't bother me one bit, Melvin. You see, I met a skeletal gentleman on my way here, and he was kind enough to give me an oracle.
Hey, let's chat.
Want to hear about all the depraved serial killers I've encountered so far?
No, thank you. Forget what I said. Ugh.
You holding up okay, CLG? You sure you don't want to wait outside?
I'll be fine, Daddy. Just make sure you don't take your eyes off of him. He's so selfish and inconsiderate. I'm still not convinced he's actually a real FBI agent. Look, he's talking to himself again.
Zach, this is the ambiguous zero, the deep freeze. Let's hurry up and find that flying serpent, shall we?
place always gives me goosebumps, no matter how many times I come here.
Yes, it's quite the fun house. Truly a dazzling place. Meat entertainment. That's the only way to describe it. Woven together by life, frozen in time, a visceral, musical
Symphony. We eat all this in order to survive.
Yes, truly a symphony. Life and death resonating together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool. Whoa now, CLG. Since when were you interested in this kind of stuff?
What are you so surprised for, Daddy? I'm more mature than you are. I've seen way more realistic corpses on CSI, you know.
Oh, man.
At first, Zach, I was shocked by the notion of storing a victim's body alongside food. But as I gaze upon this hanging garden, I realize it's just another scene of violent, depraved murder. Yes, all we need to do is change our point of view, and things will expose themselves in utterly new ways.
Hey, Mr. York. This is kinda, yeah.
Melvin, if you have something to say, then just go on and say it. Otherwise, you'll simply be insulting this beautiful landscape.
You think this is beautiful?
Oh, yes. It's the abnormal world that supports our normal lives. I think that's wonderful, don't you? Besides, look. Patricia seems to be handling this a lot better than you are.
Well, you see, I ain't too good with this grotesque stuff.
Don't let it get to you, Daddy. Whew, everyone has at least one thing they're afraid of. Even you, right, Agent York?
Something I'm afraid of?
Yeah, that's right. You gotta have at least one thing. Like clowns.
Clowns are so funny. How could anyone be scared of them?
Zombies.
Love them.
A bucket full of worms.
I could squeeze them with my bare hands.
The sound of screeching glass.
Doesn't bother me.
Then...
They cling to your skin like putrid leeches, robbing you of much more than your vitality. The wet socks.
Melvin, you're a genius. Melvin, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you a personal question. In the hotel parking lot, when I first met you, the picture you had on your dashboard happened to catch my eye. Was that your wife?
Oh, her? Yeah, that's my lady, all right. Candy. Her name's Candy. The prettiest girl in town, which makes me the happiest boy. A shooting star landed in a rural town, right on top of a man who now has a meteor struck hard.
You always keep her photo with you?
You bet I do. The truth is, Candy's a little sick right now. She can't even leave the house no more. So I always keep her photograph with me. Kinda feels like we're always together, you know?
I see. You care for your wife a great deal. But this means that
Yeah, that's right. My mama had me before she married Daddy. But it don't matter. He's still my real daddy to me.
Oh, thank you, CLG. And you're my pride and joy.
well, Zach, isn't this a heartwarming scene? But there's one thing I just can't get out of my mind. Don't you think that photograph looked a bit too old? Perhaps Candy is already... No, let's not think about that. It might be a private matter, just like you, Zach.
We're almost to the morgue. The temporary one, at least.
You don't need to keep correcting yourself, Melvin.
I know, but I'm starting to feel guilty all of a sudden. You know, from an ethical perspective. It just ain't right to store a teenage girl's body in a place like this.
Still, rephrasing your sentences won't fix anything at this point. It's a shallow concern, really.
Yeah, I know, but shoot, I just felt like the least I could do is try to phrase it better.
Whew. Don't bother trying to convince him, Daddy. I've only been working with him for a little while, but I already figured out what his deal is. He ain't right in the head. Whew. The FBI should add a new requirement to their hiring process. Must possess humanity.
The body, I'm just gonna turn my brain off and follow your lead, okay?
Here we are, Zach. The morgue. They stored the victim's body in a cold storage warehouse operated by her family. I'd love to shake the hand of whoever came up with that one.
Hey, Agent York. Did you just come here to laugh at rural officers who are doing the best they can? We don't have any special facilities like you people. What else did you expect us to do, huh? Don't compare us with city folk. This is Lucare. Or maybe you're just disappointed that you didn't get to see the bloated, decomposing corpse of a young girl.
Sorry, you're right. I went a bit too far just now. But don't misunderstand. I honestly think it's a fantastic idea. I'd never try and bully your daddy.
Better not.
Thank you for understanding. Boxes that got left behind. I can't tell what's inside. What do you think, Zach? I'm gonna go with okra. Yeah, okra. I'm sure it must be okra. That's a staple of the South. Zach, can you see that? Look closely. That's right. There are 4 imprints in the frost on the top of this. It's hard to believe, but I think these are fingerprints. Yes, Zach, that would lead one to believe that the body napper is a giant who's over 10 feet tall. An icicle. Never thought I'd see one of these down in the South. Forgotten boxes. Looks like shelled headless shrimp. When were these boxes brought here? And when will they be taken away? Zach, can you feel it? The perpetual, unstoppable flow of time. These pallets are a mess. Looks like this area isn't used often. Still, the idea to store a body here. It's a novel, sophisticated idea, unlike anything I'd ever come up with. Boxes of the past? Or presents of the future? Either way, this is a curious time capsule. Zach, these are human footprints, and they're extremely large. Yes, Zach, I agree. These footprints must belong to someone who's used to walking around in cold temperatures. Look at the thermometer, Zach. It's at 10 degrees Fahrenheit or a minus 12.2 degrees Celsius. This must not be the ambiguous zero. This frost is shaped like something we're very used to seeing. That's right, a body bag. Lisa's body must have been left here. But there are no signs that the bag was dragged away. So our criminal must possess monstrous strength. Seems like our flying serpent isn't here. Is this everything, Melvin? There aren't any other rooms in this warehouse? No special rooms?
Well, there is the luxury foods warehouse.
Luxury foods? Why didn't you say so earlier?
Just thought you wanted to see where the body... I just thought you were only interested in warehouse number 2. Besides, it's underground, so it's even colder than this. You sure you really want to go down there? You could darn well freeze to death. All life will come to an end in the icebound zone. You feel me?
Let's head there at once. I'm sure that must be where we're meant to go.
But what about searching for Lisa's body?
All we need to do is find a 10-foot tall man with monstrous strength. That giant knows where she is.
10 foot tall?
But finding the flying serpent is more important right now. Now please, guide me to the luxury foods warehouse at once. These luxury foods are most likely being used in local Cajun cuisine. I'm so excited to see what we'll find. Aren't you, Zach?
That elevator needs a key, Mr. York.
Do you have one?
Actually, no. I didn't think you'd ever want to go down there. So I didn't bother to go and get one.
Well then, would you go and get one now?
COG, I know. I'll tell it to him straight. Thing is, Mr. York, you know the Clarksons, the folks who own this place. Well, they don't too much like the police. They sure as hell don't like them when they're my color. It was, real hard for me to get permission to open up this place for you to search through. They ain't gonna be too happy if I go back to them now, asking for another key.
What should we do then?
Let's just find a worker here who can lower the elevator for us instead. All they need to do is take a break from their work for a couple minutes.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand here and pretend like nothing's happening?
Yeah, you FBI folks are good at that, right? That's always what I see you doing on TV.
Zach, I think we can move this. Better check back here as well, just to be on the safe side. Zach, the human ability to adapt is a frightening thing. Some humans have the power to sleep anywhere as long as they set their minds to it. Now we should be able to operate the elevator. No need to worry. This facility no longer has a body to steal. What else do they have to lose? A few cans of crawfish? I feel bad for him, but it's for the sake of the investigation. I'll write him a letter of apology later.
Mr. York, did you find a key? Ha! Now that's my special agent. There ain't no stopping you. Wanna head straight down?
You bet. Let's sally forth, Melvin. Zach, look at that thermometer. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 17.7 degrees Celsius. This is the ambiguous zero.
Hey, Avery! Open the damn door, Avery! It ain't no use, Mr. York. Once Avery starts working on something, that's all he sees. He just tunes out everything else. We'll have to wait until he finishes and comes out to us, I reckon. Or we could come back tomorrow.
I disagree, Melvin. Time may be on our side, but that doesn't mean we should waste it. You gave me Mr. Alligator precisely for moments like these, didn't you?
Wait, Mr. York! Those tranquilizers may be non-lethal, but it's still dangerous to use them on humans.
Of course, Melvin. I never said I was going to shoot him.
You're gonna shoot some meat to get his attention. I'm right, ain't I?
This is Mr. York, an agent from the FBI.
Hi, Avery. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
York, you a smarty pants, huh?
He's shyer than he looks. Come on, just settle down, Avery. Tell him what this here place is for.
Lots of expensive food here. Yup. Mighty precious to the Clarksons, so I gotta guard it.
I see. So you're this area's keeper.
Oh, I help with the research too. I do like research.
Research? What are you talking about, Avery? This doesn't look like a lab to me.
Oh, ain't no lab. It's a warehouse. Ain't no lab. Smarty pants scientist does the research. I ain't no smarty pants, no.
He's a bit slow in the mind, but he ain't a bad guy. Oh. Your story about the giant who carried Lisa out. Don't tell me you think it's him. I mean, it's true that he's free to come and go as he pleases in this warehouse, but...
No, as far as I can tell, he's just a bit over 6'5". The one who moved Lisa's body must be at least 10 feet tall. He's clearly too short.
Too short, huh? Well, if you ever happen to find a man who makes him look small, I'd sure like to meet him.
Lise.
Hey, cut it out!
Lise? Why?
Avery, that's not Lise.
Not Lise?
This is Melvin's daughter, and my precious assistant. Unfortunately, Elise is no longer with us.
Lise! Lise! My fault! My fault!
I guess he's sort of like Lise, you know? See, the poor fella's got himself a childlike mind. You know how normal kids tease other kids in order to get attention? Well, with this big lug, sometimes folks who don't know him too well see something and end up calling the police. But I know that deep down, he's got a good heart. Hey, Mr. York, I'll keep him busy, but I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry this particular inspection along. Just holler at me if you find anything. I reckon that'll make it easier for you to go do your thing, yeah?
Melvin, I think you're finally starting to catch on. Hung alligators. I suppose in a way they sort of look like flying serpents. Oh, but that's pushing it. Remember, we're in a dark basement here. They'll never reach the sky. Frozen oysters. Personally, I'd rather have a cocktail filled with fresh ones. We hunt for more materials than we can eat and freeze them over long periods of time. The human race gives terror a whole new meaning. Cans of Holy Trinity paste. Onions, bell peppers, and celery. The absolute basics for any Cajun dish. This product combines them all into some sort of paste. People actually buy this garbage? Even the name sounds idiotic. Zach, I just made an eternal promise with myself. If I ever happen to come across any food prepared with this paste, I vow to never call it Cajun food. There are torn off claws and legs scattered all over the ground. I doubt they'll fly anytime soon. I can't tell which ones are from crawfish and which parts are from shrimp. How about you, Zach? Avery, this box looks special.
Clarkson food, For their home.
Melvin, is this the Clarksons' family crest?
Oh, the dragonfly? Yeah, that's the Clarksons' mark, all right. Ain't no big deal, though. You can find those all over town.
Is that so?
Well, yeah. They pretty much run all of this town's major industries. Yeah, I do believe they own just about everything there is to own. So their word is law. They got the whole darn town tattooed with their dragonflies. Can't even walk a few steps without seeing one.
Zach, this dragonfly is our flying serpent. The flying serpent owns this town. They're related to Lise Clarkson, our victim. And Hungan's oracle pointed us toward their family crest. The Clarksons must be deeply intertwined with this case. Melvin, Patricia, I think I've had enough of this frozen world. Let's head back out to that merciless sun. Well, what are you waiting for? I can't bear to spend another second down here.
So, what do we do now, Mr. York?
Zach and I will take things from here.
Then what should I do?
Tend to your sick wife? I don't know. You're free to do as you please. I'll stop by the sheriff's office when I need your help again.
I suppose that's what I'll do then. It'll sure make Candy happy. But I am the sheriff of this town, so I do intend to get some work done. I know. How about I search for Lisa's body while you're busy?
Not a bad idea. Just be careful that you don't get attacked by a barefooted giant.
Hey, don't scare me like that. Why do you keep talking about that giant anyway? You really think some giant was responsible for all this?
Melvin, don't be silly. Of course I do. Just when I thought you were starting to catch on. Disappointing, to say the least.
But how can you be so sure? I want to see some proof.
Proof number 1. The footprints that led up to where Lisa's body originally was were made with bare feet. None of the prints looked similar to those of common insulated boots, and the arches of the feet were visible. The person who carried out Lisa's body must have had very large feet. I'd say they were at least 16 inches. Proof number 2. I found fingerprints on the cord of one of the hanging lights in the warehouse. The fingerprints weren't aimed up from below. They were coming directly from the side. Clearly, the giant moved the light because it was in his way. He pinched the cord with his fingers. Proof number 3. There was nothing else found in the vicinity where Lisa's body was stored. This means the giant carried her out without dragging her across the floor. But there's only one set of footprints. The only conclusion I can draw from this evidence is that a barefooted giant standing over 10 feet tall carried Lisa's body out. That concludes the entirety of my proof. Any objections, Melvin?
But there ain't no way a human could ever be that tall.
Have you seen every human alive with your own eyes? Well then, you need to forget all your preconceived notions when embarking on an investigation. Whether you come face to face with a 10-foot giant or a skeletal gentleman, you always need to accept everything that comes to you with a clear mind. Do that, and eventually the truth will reveal itself to you. You're a smart kid, I'm sure you understand.
Well, I'll be damned! I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Mr. FBI Special Agent, sir. A sharp eye and flawless observational skills, uncovering the truth with a heady intuition. I won't ever question you again. Heck, I'll do whatever you say.
That's it, Melvin. I'm glad you finally caught on. Okay, time to go, Patty. You know this town well, so I'd like you to accompany me from now on.
Patty?
Zach, we found the flying serpent. Now we simply need to locate the 10 maidens. It's time to head on to Alexis's diner and lane.